What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of J&D Sports Talk. I am filming this video Saturday, September 7th, 2024. Today's subjects are going to be a breakdown of the AFC East and a breakdown of my favorite, where the Panthers play, the NFC South. And we're also going to go over a little bit of college football we're going to see today before the games start. And I'm going to give you my top 5 NFL logos. Alright guys, going over some college football games today before they start. There's a few games I wrote down that's going to get people's eyes. One of them being NC State, ranked 24, versus Tennessee, ranked 14 tonight. I think that's going to be a good game. I'll be honest, I don't know much about NC State, but I know a good amount about Tennessee. Joe Milton had a great game last week for them, the Volunteers, and I think tonight's going to be a good game. I'm going to watch it. I think Tennessee's going to win tonight. Don't know score prediction. I think it's going to be a good game, but I think the Volunteers are going to win that one. Tulane and Kansas State. Now you guys might think, why am I even talking about this game? It's going to be a blowout. I am calling an upset with Tulane Green Wave. I don't know. I just have a gut feeling Tulane's going to win this game. They're not ranked, but they're not a bad team. They're, from my knowledge, they're a smaller school, but they're not really bad. Mekhi Hughes at running back's one of their best players. So I feel like Tulane could pull off an upset today. And if I'm right, bookmark this. Then we got Alabama versus South Florida. Alabama's going to win by a lot. That game's at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. I'm also probably going to watch that too, along with NC State and Tennessee, flip back and forth. That's going to be, a good game. Bama's probably going to dominate South Florida. So Southern Florida. I think Alabama's going to win by like 40, probably just like they did the other week against Western Kentucky last week. And then we got Texas versus Michigan. Game of the day. Texas is ranked number 3 in the country. Michigan is ranked number 10. Donovan Edwards on Michigan. Quinn Ewers on Texas. If I said his last name, I'm sorry. But that's going to be a good game. That's on noon. Definitely going to watch that one. I think, and I hope Texas wins this game. I'm not a big fan of Michigan, especially after that cheating scandal, the sign stealing thing they had. But I like Texas in this one. I feel like Texas are going to win. I think it might be a close game, but at the same time, I feel like Texas is going to, it'll probably be close, but we all know Texas is going to win it. And then we got my North Carolina Tar Heels taking on Charlotte 49ers. We are home today. First game without Max Johnson. I hope we win this game. We're favored by a lot. I don't know exactly the money line, but I know we should win this game, and we should win it by a pretty margin. Alright guys, in this part of the video, we're going to be doing a breakdown of the AFC East. One of the most interesting divisions in the NFL. They have 3 teams that could win this division. Obviously, we know the Buffalo Bills, the New York Jets, the Miami Dolphins, and the team that's going to be the worst team in the NFL this season, the New England Patriots. We're going to start off with them, get them out of the way. Their biggest thing in the offseason was drafting Drake May from the Tar Heels. He's not going to start this year, and I don't blame them. You don't want to throw your rookie quarterback out there, get hurt, lose confidence. They have the worst line in the league, worst receiving core in the league. It's just not a good situation for a rookie quarterback at all. They're going to start Jacoby Brissett, which is not going to do good. The only positive on that offense right now is Ramondre Stevenson. That is it. Their only good lineman is David Andrews at center. Preseason game, he didn't play. You've seen what happened. Struggle. David Andrews is the best lineman by far on that team. Tight end, they got Austin Hooper and Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry is starting. Hunter Henry is not bad. Receivers, oh my goodness. Demario Douglas, Jalen Polk, KJ Osborne. Looking at this now, Kendrick Bourne might miss some time. Tyquan Thornton, oh my goodness. Javon Baker might be a good player, though. Jalen Polk, I really like. He's a steal in this draft. Mark my words. He might be this year's Puka Nacua, just on a terrible team. But I mean, like, there's not much there on that offense. Obviously, you know they got new coach Jared Mayo. I believe he's been their linebackers coach for some time now. He's been in the building. So we're going to have to see how he does. But this year is not going to be the year for New England at all. But they have a really good defense. They have a really good defense. You know, it's led by Christian Gonzalez, Kyle Duggar, Jelani Tavai, a tackle monster. Keon White isn't bad. Jonathan Jones. They have a good defense. They have a really good defense. They always have a good defense. I think, who's their defensive coordinator? Isn't it Patricia? Pretty sure it is. Good defense there. But outside of the New England's defense, that team is terrible. I think they have a legit shot to not win a game. That's rare in professional sports. But I got the Patriots under 3 wins. You know, everyone knows they're not going to be a good team at all. Like I said, they drafted a rookie quarterback. Situation's too bad for him to play yet. And if they started him, it's easy. It's easier to go from Brissett to May than May to Brissett. So, yeah, I feel like Drake May will play at some point this year. Just definitely not right now. Alrighty, we are going to go to the New York Jets. They are obviously a team last year who was supposed to be potential Super Bowl contenders, and 4 plays into their season, Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles, unfortunately. And now this year they have the same hopes as last year. But their line got a lot better, but Rodgers did get older. Their line, they have Tyler Smith. Morgan Moses they added. I believe he's from Buffalo, unless they already had him. You know, their line got a lot better. Especially that left tackle spot, Tyler Smith. I believe he was from Dallas. Running back, Breece Hall. A really good running back, especially for fantasy. Garrett Wilson they have at receiver. Mike Williams they have at receiver. Alan Lazard at receiver. Malachi Corley, Xavier Gibson. Tyler Conklin at tight end. They have a pretty good team. If Robert Saleh coaches well and Rodgers plays good, just good, that team is going to probably go to the Super Bowl. If those two things happen, they have the best defense in the league. I mean, it's led by DJ Reed, Quincy Williams, Quinnen Williams, Sauce Gardner, CJ Mosley. It's the best defense in the NFL. If not, it's definitely top 3, top 2. It's a really good defense. If the line is good and Aaron Rodgers plays well, Robert Saleh doesn't coach like an idiot, they're going to do really good things this year. We are going to move on to the Miami Dolphins. Just a second here. Now, you know, about the Miami Dolphins, last year they couldn't play in the cold. Tua Tagovailoa, he didn't play good in the cold. You know, that game was really, really cold at Kansas City in Arrowhead. Tough place to play already. And then your team coming from Florida. playing that cold air. I feel like they'll do better this year, but that's if they make the playoffs, man. I'm going to say this right now, and I think a lot of you guys can agree with me. The NFC compared to the AFC is a very big difference. The NFC, yes, there's good teams, but you look at the AFC South, Colts, Texans, Jaguars. Those three teams are like favored to make the playoffs. You go to the AFC West, you basically only have Kansas City there, right? Just Kansas City. You go to the AFC North, you have the Bengals, you have the Ravens, you have the Browns. Those are 7 teams. That's a playoff picture. You go to the AFC East, Dolphins, Bills, Jets. Those are, right now, as of September 7th, 10 teams that are fighting for 3 spots in the AFC playoffs. This AFC playoffs is going to be very interesting. It was last year. Bills are a really good team. They have a real chance to miss the playoffs. Dolphins are a good team. They have a real chance to miss the playoffs. Texans could even miss the playoffs, and they're, a good team. Same with the Jags. There are 13, 14 teams out of 16 in the AFC that can legit make the playoffs and go deep. But we're talking about the Dolphins the second. Tua Tagovailoa doesn't play good under pressure. We're going to have to see if he gets better at that. Mike McDaniel is a good coach, just got to beat good teams. Raheem Mostert at running back. And obviously Tyreek Hill. He's one of the fastest players in the NFL. Jalen Waddle. Braxton Berrios. I like Braxton Berrios. Jonnu Smith at tight end. Their line is shaky. Tyron Smith. They lost Robert Hunt. He obviously went to Carolina. That line is shaky. Then you go to the defense side of the ball. They have Javon Holland, Jalen Ramsey, Jalen Phillips, Calais Campbell, Kendall Fuller. I already said Javon Holland. They signed Jordan Poyer from Buffalo. That's a good defense, good offense. They're not Super Bowl. They're not in the Super Bowl bubble, I would say, but they're definitely, they can do a lot this year. They're looking like a really good team. If Mike McDaniel beats the good teams and Tua Tagovailoa can play better under pressure, Dolphins could really do a really good job this season. We're going to go on to the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to say this right now. Before I even start talking about them, people are acting like they are terrible. They're not terrible. Yes, they got worse. Yes, do I think they're probably not going to do as good as last year or the last 4 years? They're probably not going to. The last 3-4 years we've heard Buffalo's going to the Super Bowl. Buffalo's going to the Super Bowl. They still have not done that yet, in the last few years. But you look at this Bills team. As long as they have Josh Allen, they're going to be a good team. They're going to be competitive. They're going to be competing against the good teams. James Cook at running back. And it says here, Khalil Shakir is their wide receiver 1. I have him on a breakout season. I think he's going to do really good this season. Then they have Keon Coleman, the rookie. I don't know what they were thinking in giving the Chiefs Xavier Worthy. I mean, years ago, if you don't give them Patrick Mahomes already, they keep beating you and beating you and beating you in the playoffs. I don't understand why you even answer their phone to give them the fastest receiver coming out of the draft. He ran a 4.21 in the 40-yard dash. The other night, Thursday night, he scored 2 touchdowns in his first game. It's just, I don't get the logic behind that for Buffalo. Then, Curtis Samuel, I miss him with Carolina from Washington. Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, that's a good tight end duo. The line isn't bad at all. Connor McGovern, Deion Dawkins, Spencer Brown. Then you go to the defense. Buffalo has a good defense. Greg Rousseau, Ed Oliver, AJ Sponza, Russell Douglas, Taylor Rapp. Teron Johnson's a really good corner. They have a good defense in Buffalo. Their defense did get a little worse, especially, Matt Milano is going to be out until December. Around there. Could be January, could be early December. But it's going to be in that range, from my knowledge. They got a little worse on the defense. The receiving core, yes, it did get worse, but they got Keon Coleman. They went from Diggs, Davis, and Shakir to Shakir, Coleman, and Samuel. Yes, it got worse, but it's still certainly not bad. And Josh Allen will certainly elevate the players around him. So, we know what the Bills can do. We've heard it for years. It's going to be a matter of if they go out there and do it. All right, we're going to wrap up this segment. Let me know what you guys think about the AFC East. I will post some polls on YouTube today voting for who will win each division. And let's see what you guys think. All right, guys. I'm going to be giving you my top 5 logos in the NFL right now. This is not all-time logos. This is just NFL teams' logos right now. Starting off with number 5. This one may be a little controversial. I like it. It's going to be the Detroit Lions. It's, blue, white. Blue, white. It's just a line going like that. So it's simple, but it's a good logo. It's a young logo too. They've had that exact logo since 2017. I just think it's a good logo. There's a lot of good logos in the NFL. This list was hard to make. Number 4, I got the Minnesota Vikings. They've had that exact logo since 2013. It's got some purple, yellow, white, just a Viking, 2 horns, mostly white. It's a good, or not mostly white, mostly yellow. It's a good logo. Very good detail on it. You could tell, it took some time to make. Number 3, I got the Buffalo Bills. They've had that exact logo, and this is the longest on my list, 1974. Their logo is just a buffalo with their 2 hands like that and their feet kicked back. It's blue buffalo with a red stripe. It's just a classic. Good logo. It's kind of an intimidating logo. Buffalo running right at you. Number 2, I got the Miami Dolphins. They've had that exact logo since 2018. I think it's a good logo. It's a kind of like a rain around and then just a dolphin. Who doesn't like dolphins? Who doesn't like pictures of dolphins? I think it's just a good logo. Number 1, this is not biased at all. I think the Carolina Panthers have the best logo. I mean, look at it. The blue, the black, the white, some, it's just the stripes. It's just a panther, man. It's a good logo. Not biased at all. Not saying that just because they're my favorite team. I just think my team has the best logo in the NFL. Who doesn't like blue, black, and white as a color scheme? And then it's a panther. It's not, like the Lions. It's not, it's not like the Bills. It's not a full animal. It's just kind of like the face and a little bit of a body of an animal. It's a good logo. I think the Panthers have the best logo in the NFL. All right, guys, we're going to be breaking down the division that my team is in, the NFC South. People say it's a bad division, but I think it's going to be a lot better. The Saints kind of always got a decent team. They have a terrible coach, not necessarily the greatest quarterback, but they're always decent. Tampa Bay isn't bad either. Atlanta is apparently, quote unquote, on the rise. And then Carolina, we're going to get better and better. I'm going to start off with the Saints here. Terrible coach. Dennis Allen is the worst coach in the NFL right now. I'm a Panthers fan, and I realize they need to get rid of him. Um, Derek Carr isn't a great quarterback anymore. He was good with Vegas. Alvin Kamara, Jamal Williams, really good running back duo. Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, Cedric Wilson Jr. I'm not going to talk too much smack about this team right now because we do play them tomorrow. But I don't think they're a very good team. You know, they have good players. They have good players. Just as a team, especially with Dennis Allen, I think, it's time for them to kind of rebuild. Tackles are very concerning. Cameron Jordan on the defense side of the ball, obviously getting older. Demario Davis getting older. Pete Warner's the tackle monster. Marshawn Lattimore getting older. This team is getting older and older and older. Tyrann Mathieu, they're only going to have that defensive core for a couple more years. Willie Gay from the Chiefs. Adebayo isn't bad. But they're only going to have those defensive players for a few years. That offense is pretty young besides O-line. O-line's not great. They're not going to be a competitive team with Dennis Allen. I think everybody knows that. We're going to go to the 20-3 Atlanta Falcons. They just got Kirk Cousins, very big deal for him. They have Bijan Robinson at Tyler Algier. Good running back duo. Bijan has still not lived up to the hype. Arthur Smith is his excuse. Let's see how he does this year. Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Ray McLeod. They were supposed to have Rondale Moore this year, but he got a season-ending injury. Prayers for him. And then, obviously at tight end they got Kyle Pitts. They got a young team besides Kirk, Bijan, Tyler, Drake, Kyle. The offense doesn't look too bad. Chris Lindstrom, Jake Matthews, I feel like they've had forever. Then on the defense side of the ball, they have a good defense. Justin Simmons, Jesse Bates, A.J. Terrell, Grady Jarrett, David Onyemata, Matthew Judon. Caden Ellis is a tackle monster. I don't know if Raheem Morris is the coach for him. We'll have to see. But I feel like this Atlanta team, and I may be just saying this because obvious reasons, but I don't think they're going to do that good this year. I don't think they're as good as people act like they are. But we'll definitely have to see. We're going to go to the Bucks now. Which, out of those three, I like the Bucks out of the bunch, probably, maybe. I don't know. I hate them all. Hate all three of them. Don't like all three of them. Baker Mayfield, incredible journey for him. Glad to see him in a city on a team that trusts him and he's comfortable with and has confidence with. But, Rachaad White at running back, underrated. He wasn't very, very good last year. He's still good, but not as good as expected. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, they've had forever. Mike Evans is a really good receiver, probably a Hall of Famer in my opinion. He's had like 8 straight seasons of 1,000 yards. So, K-Dot at tight end. Troy Palmer, Tampa's wide receiver 3. Then at line, they have Tristan Wirfs, Graham Burton at center. Then you look at the defense side of the ball. It's not bad. Vita Vea rushing the quarterback. Levante David, he's like, what now, 34? Jordan Whitehead at safety. Jamal Dean at corner. Joe Tryon Shoyinka. Just had to reread the name there. I do look at the depth charts while I'm doing these breakdowns so I don't forget any players or say their name wrong. Everybody does that. But safety, Antoine Winfield Jr., top 3 receiver. Safety, Antoine Winfield Jr. is a top 3 safety in the NFL. I remember when he threw up the peace sign in the Super Bowl. But good defense there, And they got not a bad defense. Ty Bowles, I don't think is a great coach, in my opinion, but I could be wrong. All right, we're gonna go to the best team in the league now. My favorite team in the NFL. I just did a breakdown of the Panthers in the first episode, kind of season expectations. If you guys, watch previous episodes on the channel, we also post TikToks and Twitter. We'll get, say that. We'll get into that in the outro. Bryce Young at quarterback. He's going to do a lot better this year. He's the franchise quarterback. Chuba Hubbard at running back with Miles Sanders and Raheem Blackshear as the backup. Jonathan Brooks will definitely play when he comes back. Wide receiver room, Deontay Johnson, Adam Thielen, Jonathan Mingo, Xavier Legette, David Moore. Good receiving room. A lot of people hate on Adam Thielen for some reason when he's a good receiver. Even though he's like 34, he's still reliable. Tight end. It's been announced yesterday that Tommy Tremble and Ian Thomas is going to be out Sunday, but Ja'Tavion Sanders has been balling out. He's been playing really good. And then left tackle, we got Ikem Ekwonu. He's got to play better. Other than that, Corbett, hope he does good at center. But at guard, we got Damian Lewis, Robert Hunt. Just paid them a boatload of money. We got Taylor Moton at tackle. On the defense, we were a top 5 defense last year. I think we're going to do it again this year. We got Derek Brown, Jadeveon Clowney, Josey Jewell, Shaq Thompson. Corner and edge is our weak spot. But at edge, we got Jadeveon Clowney, and at corner, we got J.C. Horn. So at least we got a good one for both. Defense, a couple holes, but it looks good. Offense looks good. Offense may take, some time to gel. Same with the defense, Ejiro Vero's defense, Brad Isaac's offense. But, I'm very excited for this season. Season starts tomorrow. I think we can definitely win this division. And obviously win the Super Bowl. We're not favored, but we will. But I really like where we're heading as a football team. And I believe we're going to do really good things this year. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know what you want to see next. What kind of content you want to see. What teams. Anything you guys want us to talk about. And, we can probably do me and Down could probably do a Q&A video soon too. And we're excited to put out these videos for you guys. We're going to try to do it every other day or so. Maybe sometimes every day. We're going to kind of set a schedule soon. But we're going to get these videos out. Make sure you also check out our TikTok, J&D Sports Talk, our Twitter, J&D Sports Talk. Thank you guys for watching. Let us know what you want to see next. And I'll see you guys Monday.